V-Rigger screen is divided into several areas. This area at the top is called the ribbon. The ribbon groups common tasks into tabs. This button in the upper left-hand corner of the ribbon is the V-Rigger button. It provides access to the commands to open, close, and save files. These panels on the left, they're the gear panels. They contain hundreds of pieces of gear to help you create theatrical, industrial, rope access, and rescue rigging systems. This pane on the right is the Properties pane. It lets you change the attributes of the gear that are currently selected. And this status bar at the bottom of the screen displays important instructions as you interact with gear. And this area in the center of the screen, that's the workspace. That's where you'll create your own rigging systems. I already have a few pieces of gear on the workspace, but I want to add some more. The easiest way to do that is to drag gear from the gear pane and drop it on the workspace. I'm going to use this drop list so I only see carabiners and pulleys, and then drag out a couple of carabiners. Change this list for anchors, grab an anchor. I want a rope, so I'll choose ropes and knots. Scroll down, grab a rope, and drop it on the workspace. I also want a hand to pull on the rope, so put that on the workspace. To move gear in V-Rigger, you simply grab it with your mouse and drag it. To connect gear, you drag it, you line up these little blue dots, connection dots, and release it. If I go to drag a piece of gear that's already connected, it'll just move that gear. However, if I press the Control key and then drag that gear, it will bring connected gear as well. To connect ropes to gear, you simply drag the rope and drop it on gear. You can't drop gear on top of ropes to connect them. To calculate forces, click on the Forces tab, and then click on the Calculate Forces button. You can see that there are many options in this tab, including options to set the minimum safety factor, whether rope angles and friction should be considered, whether you want forces displayed in pounds and kilograms or kilonewtons. The Properties pane lets you modify the selected item. For example, if I select this knot, I can change its size, its rotation, its weight, and the knot's strength. I can also change its size by dragging the sizing handle. I can rotate it from this rotation handle. This button in the Properties pane allows me to reset the default size and rotation of the selected item. When a rope is selected, you can set its size, its color, and its strength. There are several commands in the View tab that deal with ropes. One of these commands is rope benders. With rope benders, they let you curve the rope, creating the appearance of slack in the rope. If I calculate forces, the slack is removed from the tensioned sections of the rope. You can see that there are now 201 pounds on the anchor, 200 pounds for the man, and 1 pound for that knot. As with most Windows-based software, you can click your right mouse button on objects within V-Rigger to display commands that are relevant to that item. For example, if I click my right mouse on this anchor, I see commands relevant to the anchor. If I right-click on our knot, I see commands relevant to the knot. If I right-click on the rope, I see commands that are relevant just to the rope. I can even click on our unfortunate man to see commands relevant to the man. I can click on the workspace, on an item within the gear panel, on the gear panel itself. I can even click on a command in the ribbon to get commands relevant to that command. I can right-click on the Properties pane. I can even right-click on the status bar to change what it displays. The advantage of using the right-click shortcut menus is they provide quick access to commands that are specifically relevant to the item that you clicked on. And remember to use VRigger's extensive help system. You can access it by pressing F1 or by clicking on any of the help buttons throughout VRigger. The help system provides details on each of VRigger's features, as well as links to other training videos. Thanks for choosing VRigger.